All right, guys, so today we are changing the heater hoses, and this is actually pretty much a break in my other video right now on how to flush the coolant in this vehicle. But we're changing the heater hoses on a 2004 Oldsmobile Alero. Now, this will be the same for any 1999 through 04 Oldsmobile Alero or 99 through 05 Pontiac Grand Am. Let me show you these hoses here. Yours won't have that piece on it. Oh. At least I'd assume it wouldn't, but that's one of the hoses, and then the other one's right next to it. And you'll see they actually connect right back here. And they connect up here on the motor. But you'll have a better view from the other side. I'm gonna go over here and close this garage door, and then we're gonna continue this video. All right, so first thing we'll do is, you'll come here and you'll see these two fittings. Sorry, these two hose clamps. I thought they were the screw type, that's why I have my screwdriver. We're gonna take some pliers here, and if you have the screwdriver type, take a screwdriver or a size 8 socket and ratchet, or in my case, the pliers. And I'm gonna squeeze these and pull these off, and you're gonna go ahead and replace your hose clamps as well. You're gonna wanna do that. So with this, you'll need 4 hose clamps and you'll need your 2 hoses. You can either buy molded hoses or you can buy bulk hose. I was kind of in a rush to get these done, so I bought bulk hose, and you can do that if you're on a budget. But if you're looking to do it with the identical hoses, you're gonna wanna buy the molded hoses. Now I'm gonna put a link in my description for both of these options. So if you're wanting to do it the right way, I'll leave in the molded ones. If you want to do it this way, I'll leave in the bulk hose. And I did buy about 4 foot of bulk hose if you're curious. All right, so let's go ahead and get these off. All right, so I just got some channel locks here. Oh. Maybe easier just to get this down here first. I don't know where I put my Nipex, or I would be using those. Oh, that would feel so good if it busted my fingers. Yeah, make sure and watch my other video too. There's a flushing your coolant video I have out. So it's probably something you ought to do if you're gonna be spilling coolant anyway. In this case here, you shouldn't see any coolant spilled. If you do, it'll be just a little bit of water because I did just flush this system. So in your case, you're gonna have coolant go everywhere. So do keep that in mind. You're gonna have to buy coolant as well. That felt phenomenal. I should just cut these off. So I really don't want to break the heater core connections. This would be easier with 2 hands. Yeah, I might just cut that hose right there. Just grab the hose and see what happens. All right, just a quick comment here. You do want to make sure that your vehicle is cold. If your vehicle's hot right now and you're trying to cut these off, I just cut that hose, make my life a little easier. If your vehicle's hot, you're not gonna have too much fun. So you can see I pulled the hose clamp up. I just cut it out of the way. You can hear that water flowing. Now this guy's on there pretty good. So I'm gonna open these up a little bit. Just gonna grab onto them and I'm just gonna twist it. Breaking that hose loose. I believe I got her loose. Yeah, it's loose now. Those hoses will get seized up on there. I'm just gonna take it and just twist her off. So that ends off. You do not want to break these because then you're gonna be changing your heater core. And that would be no fun. I don't want to learn how to do that on this car. I don't want to make a video on that, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so we got that one side off. Again, if it makes life easy, just cut the hoses. Guys, make sure your car is cold though. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get that hose back there off too. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one off. I didn't even adjust my pliers here. We ain't busting our fingers for that guy. Really wish I just had some tools here instead of at work, so I could just cut these. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut off that side there too. We're gonna go ahead and pull it off. You'll see I've already got the one side off there. I'm gonna basically pull off Basically, I'm getting both sides closest to me first. Just gonna cut them off and pull them off. All right, if you haven't already realized, this sucks. So, especially with these stupid clamps, you just have regular clamps, you should be all right. Remember, your side closest on the firewall goes farthest away from you on the engine block, and vice versa. So just remember that. I mean, I'm sure it really wouldn't hurt anything if they went to each different side, but I figured we'll just put them right back on the way they go. So remember, like right here, close to you on the engine block is farthest away on the firewall. All right, let's go ahead and get these other two off, and then we're going to go cut our new ones to length for me. For you, just put them in. All right, so as you can see, here's one of my sides of my heater hose. Yours is not going to have that piece on it. I made another video on how to flush out your cooling system, so if you're really wanting to know more about that, go and tune into that video. It'll be on my channel. So, here's my bulk hose. You can see it doesn't have all these pre-molded bends like this other hose does. Now, I will link together, like I said, all these hoses, including the ones that have the bends in them and the ones that are like this. I'll even link in some hose clamps. I'm pretty much linking whatever you need. All right, so let's go ahead and pretty well measure these out. So this is why I'm replacing it. You can see right here, I had already cut it once because it busted a leak down here. So I cut it off and I moved the clamp up and slid it back down over it. So let's just kind of overestimate here. I bought 4 foot of this hose here, so I'm just going to roll it over. Oh. So I'm just going to be, I'd say, probably cut it like right here. So as long as I have maybe another 2 foot down here, I'll be okay with that decision. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this with my finger. I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to make sure, before I cut it, I'm going to make sure this is about center. And if it's close to center, I'll just cut them both on center. So that was almost right on center. I just barely moved it up to make it center. So I'm basically going to cut these in 2 foot sections. Or you can have them pre-cut it for you like that at the hardware store or on Amazon. So I will leave the link to the bulk hose. So let's just go ahead and do that. All right, so I'll go ahead and put my hose clamps on, or you can wait till you get over there. And then I may go ahead and just kind of tighten these down, move them up a little bit, but not even tighten them down, just get them snug down, just enough to where you can barely move them onto this hose about 5 or 6 inches up off the end. So that way, once we have it on there, they're not all flopping around. I can just slide them down, and I can just tighten them over. Matter of fact, I may just leave them like they are. I'll go and grab me a little ratchet and an 8mm socket, and I'll have my flathead screwdriver, depending on what my access is like over there. All right, so remember, basically they flop. So I'm going to go ahead and do this front side on the firewall to that back side over there, because it's harder to get to that back side than it is that back side. So just set it up like that. Slide it over. This is a 3/4 inch hose. There she goes. And then I'm going to just loop this guy over in. And there's the back one. Right onto here. Right down to where it stops. You'll see there's little catches on these where they stop. And bang, she's good. And really, this is where the molded ones would have came in handy. What I'll do is I'll probably run the other one up over here so it kind of holds this back off of my exhaust. That's where the molded ones are going to come in handy. Or I could really just cut this thing a little bit shorter, and I'd have a little bit better room, a little bit better fitment. And that might be what I do. So actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I cut about 2 inches off of this guy, just so that way I'm not right up on my exhaust. So this is where you get, if you have the bulk hose, you have to kind of put a little bit of thinking into it. I just use some heavy duty scissors for that. You can use a razor blade. Just use whatever works best for you. So let's go ahead and shove her on there. See how she fits now. Actually, I think it fits a little worse. That's all good though. I'll put my other hose on it, and I'll make it fit just right to where it's holding it up a little bit. So you can see I got my one here. I'll go ahead and slide this other one over. I should have just kept her loose. That side my idea worked out, but this side you kind of got to fight a little bit. There she goes. Oh, can't see, can you? All right. feel where your hose, there's my metal. I'll just let it lay there for now. Let's go ahead and get these tightened on there. Now, I may need to set you down for this. I can't quite get to it. I need both hands. But I think you guys get the point. I got an 8mm socket here, or you can use a screwdriver. So let's go ahead and get these tightened down. Now, just get these on there snug. So I've got this one here where I can get to it pretty easily if I ever need to change these again, which hopefully not. See where she's rubbing on the exhaust. I'd say 2-foot hoses on each side are probably pretty good. Just want to get this right here just snug. You don't want to be grunting while you're tightening it. I don't know what all it is on this wrench. I guess it's rust. I'd say that's pretty good. That's pretty tight. Now we'll do the same over here to this side. And I won't even show you guys that process. I just want to let you know you don't do this. Don't be tightening around. So okay. Same concept here. Now we are going to come from the top. And like I said, we're going to go behind this guy. Don't lose your hose clamp. I'm going to go ahead and drop this hose clamp down on it because I know I'm probably going to lose it. I'm going to go up, down, and upside down, and around. Just shove her down on that. Come on now. I think you guys get the point here. I'm just shoving this hose onto that catch. She's getting on there slowly. I'm going to use 2 hands for this, okay, guys? So I think you understand the point here. I'm just shoving this hose down on that, and then I'm going to put it in back there. All right, so I got them in there. Make sure you fill in your hose and make sure it's not kinked. These are pretty tight, but they're not kinked. They're off my exhaust. Now, this is why the molded hoses are going to be your best fit here. I really don't recommend this. I'm going to recommend the molded hoses, but if you're like me and your heater hose blew out and you've got to be at work tomorrow, that'll work just good. Or if you're wanting to spend half the money, maybe it's just not a big priority for you. So that's how you change your heater hoses. Now, you're just going to want to top off your coolant because you would have drained some coolant. Buy the right coolant for your vehicle. Here's where you're going to put it in. There will be a little screw cap here. There will be your screw cap. I will link that as well in my in the description because this one here is pretty hard to get on and off. So this one here is no good. Also, if you ever hear hissing around, if there's like leaks around it, go ahead and just replace it. It's just a few dollars, I think, on Amazon. I'll link it. But you're going to put your coolant here. Like I said, I flushed mine. So I bought this, basically, it's a universal coolant. Now, the Prestone, I believe, says you can mix it with any color coolant. So if they're willing to advertise that, I do that. But don't just go grab any coolant off the shelf. Make sure it's a universal or make sure it's the exact coolant for this car. It looked like an orange coolant. I don't know if it's a Dexcool or what, but just make sure you do your research. It is Dexcool. That's what the cap says, Dexcool. So if it's orange in there, that's what you'll top it off with. But again, watch my video on how to flush it. You're probably going to want to do that because yours is probably just as disgusting as that or worse. So yeah, that's how you do it. Top it off, run it. Maybe the next morning, whenever it's still, when the engine's cold, check right here. It should see that says full cold. Make sure that's up to that line. So if it's cold and it's not up to that line, go ahead and top it off till it gets to that line. So you should be good to go. You shouldn't lose that much coolant. All right, guys, well, that's how you do it. Like I said, I'll put everything in the description from a tool, kit, just absolutely everything you'll need for this job here. Please like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great rest of your day. God bless you.